Hello and welcome to Convert with Webinars, which is the easiest way to create a presentation that sells and gives real value without being manipulative, sleazy, or give away all your content for free. This is going to be a training which will be less than 15 minutes, and in this particular training, this is what you're going to learn. Why most webinar presentations don't convert attendees into clients. Then we are going to talk about the 9 questions that you need to answer to create a presentation that gives value and sells at the same time. This is one of the favorite parts of the entire training based on the feedback we received working with hundreds of clients. And then the third one is the webinar framework that generated millions in revenues for us and our clients. Make sure always take action in what you learn, because if you action what you're going to learn straight away, you're going to have incredible results in a very short space of time. And this is the same exact process that I worked with the clients that helped them make more than $100,000 from the webinar that we created together. So I'm breaking down the process for you. And to give you an idea about why I started with webinars, we built a training company in the personal development and business development space in doing live events. We ended up from starting from a small farm with 4 people to running more than 1,000 events in 5 years, an average of 200 events a year, hundreds of people attending our courses and training, and then COVID hit, and we really had to switch everything up online, and that's where I knew that I wanted to really master the art of webinars and make it a core part of my business. And the number one reason why webinars fail to convert, and this is the problem that I had and a lot of our clients had as well, is this. They create a webinar to get sales, but what they do instead, they create a training presentation. This is the biggest problem. You don't need to create a training presentation. You need to get into the mindset of creating a sales presentation. So you don't need to train people what the how-to is, what they're going to buy later on. But what are the elements and what is the main outcome that you need to achieve with this presentation is this. Your presentation must create belief. It must create belief that you are the right person that they are going to work with. It must create belief that they need your product and services, and the product or services is exactly what they need in order to move forward or to solve the specific problem that they have, and also that your methodology works. This is the main part. This is the main thing that gets people to fail with webinars, where then they get incredible feedback, but they don't get sales. So here we are looking to create something that gives people real value, and the real value is in the transformation, is seeing things in a different way. And the reason why this is important is because if people don't believe that your methodology is exactly what they need, they're not going to take action anyway. So you can give them the best possible training, but guess what? It's not going to work. They're not going to implement it. So the biggest thing you can do is to get them to shift belief. And your presentation, in order to do that, it must answer specific questions. And I boiled it down to 9 questions that you need to answer in every single part of your during your presentation. The first one is, what will you cover? You will cover. That's the most important one. So then people know exactly what is it you're going to give them, and if this is right for them and it is exactly what they're looking for. The second thing that you need to answer is, why should I pay attention now? You need to tell them, and you need to answer the question for the audience, why should I pay attention? Why should your audience pay attention? Why is it important for them to pay attention to this particular webinar instead of doing something else? The third question is, why are you the right person to learn from? That's where your story comes into place. That's where your anecdotes come into place. Now, again, you don't want to turn your webinar into a self-biography. There are a lot of webinars that fail because people talk way too much about themselves. You don't want to do that, but it's important that you create context and you let people know why you are the right person. So what was your background, and what results are you having, and why are you qualified to talk about the topic that you're talking about. And this is the introduction. So you're going to answer these 3 questions in the introduction. Then you're going to move to the question number 4, which is, what are the 3 major objections that stops your clients from using what you offer? So what are the 3 major objections that stop your client from using what you offer. Think about it. Your webinar is a sales tool if you want to create a webinar to sell. And people will have concerns and objections before they buy from you. So what are you going to do? You're going to address those concerns during your presentation. So then when you arrive at the end and when you're making your call to actions, then people will already have put their mind at rest and they will already have heard the answers to the biggest objections that they have to move forward with you. The fifth is how is your system better than others? It's important that you tell them and you show them how is your system and what you teach and what you work with your clients better than others or different than others. Because chances are they've already heard a few system, they've already heard other presentations, they've already tried different solutions, so they need to understand how is yours different, so then they get actually getting the results that they want. The sixth question to answer during your content is, does it work for others other than yourself? That's where your case studies come in. That's where your other stories of client success comes in. And if you answer then these other additional questions, 4, 5, and 6, this becomes the core component of your content, which then are going to lead to the call to action, which is the final part. And in the call to action, you need to answer these 3 following questions. Number 1, why do I need your offer now? Why do I need it now? Why do I need to buy now instead of buying another time? Why is it now the right time for me to make this purchase and not wait another 6 months, another year? And no, why do things on my own? So why do I need your offer now? The other question you need to answer is, what is included? What is included? What am I going to buy? Everyone needs to know. And then the last one is, can you answer all my questions and doubts? That's where you're addressing other objections, other concerns that they have before buying. Now, if you now use those 9 questions, you will have a great presentation, because then you can structure your presentation and put the answer of your presentation into the structure of what that's going to be your webinar. But before even you touch your presentation, be clear in those 9 questions, because then you can take the answers and then put them into a webinar framework. Now, we have developed a great webinar framework that where you can fit all your different questions and all the different answers. And that's what we work with our clients. That's what we implement as well when we work on our own webinars. And this is what I want you to talk about now, which you can find in the webinar conversion kit. For less than $30, you can get our entire plug and play system to create a high converting webinar presentation for selling your coaching, consulting, training services without being manipulative or sleazy, and you can do that all in less than 7 days. And I would love to show you now how this particular process works and where can you find it. So you can go to webinarconversionkit.com. So it's webinarconversionkit.com. And when you go to webinarconversionkit.com, you will see this particular page. If you click this big gold button, it will direct you to the checkout page. As I mentioned, is less than $30. And this is what you have included. You will have included our high converting webinar framework, which is the framework that I've talked about, where now you can put the answers to the questions that you have answered to create the presentation from start to finish. So by the end, or by using this, you will have your presentation created from start to finish. As a bonus as well, you will have our high converting webinar templates and slides. In this way, you will get an entire slide deck, which will tell you slide by slide, put this here, insert this there, insert this in the other place, so then you don't have to start from scratch and second guess yourself. You will also get the pitch and follow-up templates. These are templates that are designed to send them as follow-up emails to people that have registered to your webinars, and maybe they've attended live or they've registered but not attended, so then they can buy what is that you have to offer. We will also get our case studies. So we have interviewed some of our clients on how they are running their webinars, so you can learn immediately from them and have incredible ideas that you can implement in your own presentation and then we will give you our Trello webinar checklist. So you don't leave your webinar creation to chances, and you know that whatever you're going to create has all the right ingredients, is going to work, and is going to get you clients. So make sure you go to webinarconversionkit.com, or you can see the link that is below this video, and then join all the hundreds of people that have bought the webinar conversion kit and created highly profitable webinars. I cannot wait to work together. I cannot wait to support you with even more creating profitable webinars with the webinar conversion kit. If you have any question, make sure you feel free to reach out, and I cannot wait to get you started so then you too can have a high converting webinar that will give you clients over and over again.